Hi, I'm Jerry from Drake Automotive. I'm here to show you how to install the different pieces that go onto the door panel. We have the aluminum insert panels, we have the regular deluxe door panels for $67, and we have the exterior moldings. They're not too hard to install. First of all, you need to identify which side is which. On the door panel themselves, on the 67 deluxe door, you will see up here a hole. That's for where the remote mirror cable goes through and your adjuster. Now, obviously the corresponding aluminum insert will have that same hole in it, and that's going to cover that just like that. Now what we're going to do is first we're going to install our inserts. On the back of the inserts, you'll see these little tabs. These tabs here, you actually have to bend all of these up. And it takes some time, and be very careful. They are very sharp, and if they cut you, it's going to hurt. Once you get all those up, you're going to go ahead and install them into the holes that are already perforated into the door panel. I'm going to go ahead and get started and pulling these up and getting this set in, and we'll be back. Hi, okay, now what we've done is we've gone ahead and raised up all the little spikes that are in the back of this door panel insert. And like I explained earlier, they go through the perforated holes in the door panels. What we're going to go ahead and do is go ahead and install this and show you how you do it and bend the tabs over, and then we'll move on to the next phase. One thing you want to do is you want to make sure as you're doing this, the holes might line differently. So you might have to play with the tabs a little bit. Just be patient and you'll get it. What I usually do is I'll start with the front and just move around, get everything lined up first. And you will have to adjust some of these tangs. You'll feel them kind of drop down in, you know you're in, because you don't want to force anything through. Otherwise you could break off one of the tangs, little tabs, or hurt the door panel. Okay, now you can see that we've installed the insert, pushed it through, and as you see it comes out the back and little tags come through the perforated holes. What you're going to want to do is very carefully with your thumb, give it some pressure. Actually not your thumb, maybe the palm. Because what you don't want to do is centralize a bunch of pressure, because then you're going to go ahead and dent that panel. But you want to get some pressure, and then you want to go ahead and bend those over. I'll also use a little kind of rubber mallet, tap them just to make sure, and just do each one, keeping pressure, one by one. Okay, now we have our insert installed. You want to make sure that you've really got it nice and tight and snug, so you don't see any air gaps in here. If you do, go ahead and loosen up the little tabs in the back. You can just fold it over, squeeze in a little bit tighter, and then bend it back, and with your plastic mallet, go ahead and tap it back down. Now what we're going to do is we're going to install the outer trim. Now, there's a definite left and a right on the outer trim. It's kind of hard to see, but the bottom section is the longer section. You see here that this piece here is actually longer than the top up here. Also, the way the curve is on the back side, it's different and it matches up, and that's why they're very specific. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to try to start off pretty much in the back and then move forward, because the back's going to dictate how everything kind of matches up there. You also want to make sure that on your door panel you don't have too much overlay here, otherwise it's not going to snug in very good. And again, you're going to be using your rubber mallet. Tap lightly, you don't want to hit too hard, otherwise you're going to bend the molding. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. And it's kind of a tight fit sometimes. It does take a lot of patience and practice. See, we're going to slowly move it through. We're going to pinch ourselves too. That's a really tight fit, so you got to make sure that you're getting the fabric and the material of the door panel down inside the molding. We went ahead and installed the outside molding there. One thing about the molding a lot of people don't know, you always want to make sure you have a tight fit, and it's okay that, because it is very, very tight, to use a plastic or rubber mallet and just tap everything nice and tight. You don't want to hit too hard, you don't want to bend the metal. Then what you're going to do is on the back side, there's a couple little holes. In the molding, there's holes that are actually pressed and cut into there. What you're going to do is you're going to take your regular common awl and you're going to use your body, kind of push in so you get a nice tight fit. You're going to take the awl, very, very carefully poke through. Then what I've gone and done is went to a local hardware store and bought number 4x3/8 wood screws. You're going into cardboard, so it's not steel, so you're going to want the wood screws. These screws are so small that they're not going to protrude through the steel, the molding. So you go ahead and you poke a hole, take your screwdriver. It's hard to do because it's such a small screw. And go ahead and get them started. Screw it in, then move to the next. Use your body, make sure you're nice and tight. Go ahead and give it a little tap. Make sure you're all the way in, again with your awl. Make a little starter hole. You don't want to push too hard, you don't want to go through. You just want to make a starter hole. Using a magnetic tip screwdriver sometimes might help in this case, especially with such a small screw.